I'm going to do a little update on everything. So, I believe in the last video, before I published this, I got the electrical finished up. So, electrical's finished up. We got a place to hang the brooms, the dustpans, equipment keys. Didn't really have a place for the old belt stretcher, but this is just something I collected over the years, and it's really cool, and that's a good enough spot for it. Wiper blades are up. Air lines are plumbed. This area is where the hose reel's going, but I haven't bought that yet. Jumper cable's hung up. This stuff is not the Rapid Air. This is the Amazon Special. It works. These pieces, this valve, this T-block are junk. Go ahead and just, if you buy the Amazon kit, because it's inexpensive like I did, go ahead and get yourself some good Apollo ball valves and get yourself some nice brass T-fitting, or T's. Also, the stainless steel, I think they're stainless anyway. They're supposed to be. Those fittings are ridiculously expensive, and it just, that drove the cost up because I had to buy 4 more 90s or 2 more 90s and 4 more straights, because the kit didn't come with any 90s. It came with like 2 or 3 T's. It just didn't come with enough parts. In an industrial setting, I was used to either doing copper hard lines or black iron hard lines. And I've also done air brake hose on big trucks and equipment. Comparatively, this stuff is not as easy to work with. It's more like trying to uncoil bulk brake and fuel line. It's 2 layers of plastic with a layer of thin steel or aluminum. I didn't take it apart, but just some type of metal in between them. So the blue is the outer wall. I believe it's a white inner section, and then it's got a layer of metal in the middle. So it's not the easiest thing to uncoil and maneuver around. And like I say, the T-fittings are you can use them. I did get them to not leak, but they're pretty well junk. And the ball valves, again, I got them to not leak, and they're 1/2-inch male pipe thread, but it's like there's no taper on them at all. You got to just goob the crap out of them with sealing tape. But I branched off here. If we can see it, maybe behind the door opener. Yep, got a T. Yeah, it's not as neat and pretty as I would have liked, but it does work. Everything's hooked in. Everything's good to go. Air compressor's hooked up and running. I believe that was in an earlier video. New set of shelves right here for some stuff. Managed to clear out this shelf out of this stuff. What I really like to do is get another one of those 18 drawer metal cabinets I've got on the other side of the garage to put right there. But good Lord, those things are expensive, and this garage project's already taken up enough money, so we're not doing that. Got my new doohickey ultrasonic cleaner. There you go. That's a real thing. A couple empty shelves, which I'm proud of. I like having empty shelves. It gives me more reason to buy something to put on the empty shelves. What else we got? We got a metal cart. That's been around. Put together my engine stand because the engine's got to come out of the Dodge. Giant pile of parts to rebuild Dodge. We got an air hose here. This is a 25-footer. I'm buying a 50-footer to go over next to the door. And yeah, you can kind of see this orange stuff is a 1/2-inch DOT brake line or air brake line, because that stuff was just, I had a bunch of it from my previous job. It was fun to work with. It's easy to work with. Drill press is up and cleaned up and everything else. Got my cold gun on there for when I'm doing stuff that you shouldn't do with this kind of drill press. Got a little stand and everything for the belt grinder. Welding table set up. line is run. I have a branch tee, or not a branch tee. I just have a tee in case I need it. The kit did come with these, but I ended up buying, I want to say 25 additional vinyl coated clamps to go in the overhead. That was interesting. My garage door just popped at me. I think I got ghosts. Got my welding clamps hung up. Got the ones that I keep out on the wall over here hung up. You gotta love the wallpapered boards. When we cleaned out the house, I just had a ton of them. I'm not pulling a wallpaper or the contact paper or whatever the hell that stuff is off of them. They're just going up on the wall. These guys are handy. Thought it was the neatest thing in the world. That those black cabinets there, cheapest metal cabinets on Amazon for that size. They were wrapped in two of those. So you had one at the top and one at the bottom for holding all the flat pack together. So I decided to put them up there. It's got plasma cutter parts. This is for my spool gun, which I don't have hooked up because I don't have the right gas for it. Replacement nozzles, replacement tips, more welding wire. And I have two more of those because I bought two cabinets. Just don't have them, don't really have a place to go with them yet. But I'm starting to clear stuff out. I gotta get the turbo box. Yes, that ammo can has two turbos in it. Just because that was the only place I had to store them. That needs to go up in the overhead. Eventually, I will get a big enough secondary shed that all this lawn stuff can get out there. And look, you can actually see the whole oven. That's I'm hoping. I've been around these things when I was a kid. They generate good heat. They're not a wood stove, but they do generate big time heat. What I really like about it is it is an actual stove. It's an oven, and I'm thinking if it works, once I can get it to a point where it's plumbed into the chimney and everything like that works, if I can get good heat and good consistent heat out of it, I can do small powder coating projects, and then maybe now, since this whole top plate gets hot, because that's your cook surface, that's your water trough, I guess, for humidity. I believe that's your burn trough. I haven't had this thing apart yet. That might be where wood goes. I don't really know. I'll have to check everything out. But what I'm kind of hoping is that I can end up building a metal box. A metal box to come up. I don't know what size. I'm waving my hand around like I can figure it out. But a metal box to come up and then use the heat generated from the burner plates, from the top plates, to heat said metal box that would sit on top of everything, and then cook stuff in there. That's probably a long shot. That probably won't happen. But at least I've got a little tiny oven. I can do little bits of powder coating in there. I might be able to get, I don't know how big this thing is. Not too big, not too small. Don't think I can get a rim in there. No powder coating wheels for me. But it'd be pretty cool if I could get something going in there where I could utilize the top heating surface to do whatever I felt like. I don't think anything new on that side of the garage. Everything's kind of in place, but boxes are almost gone. You can walk around. It's small miracles. Got a bucket in the way. But, yeah. Garage is coming along. Pretty soon, whether I want to or not, it's going to be in full swing because that engine in the Dodge needs heads. Right now, that's another story. But garage is coming along. Everything looks good. And hopefully the next video on the garage should be the absolute last video on the garage. Not in the garage, but just on the situation of getting it back together and organized and usable. All right, bye.